Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the newest game release from Dux Somnium. If you guys are familiar with them, they are a family company that has brought you the game Botany, Lafleur, and now their third game, which is called Artistry. It was initially supposed to arrive in December, but it has come early. So they have really good track record at coming in ahead of schedule. They are about 4 months ahead, so that is crazy. I did kickstart this game at the highest tier, so I was able to get all of the perks, and I am so excited to unbox all of these with you guys. I have been a big fan of all of the Dux Somnium games I have played so far. I really love Botany, I really love Lafleur, might be my favorite, but now we have Artistry, and they also have announced their newest game that is going to be hitting Kickstarter, and it's called Endearment, and it's supposed to be like a Jane Austen themed game. I can't wait for that one. I'm definitely going to be kickstarting it as well. I just have had such good experience with the company itself, the Kickstart program that they do. I really love the games. I love the packaging. I love the art and everything that comes along with it. So I am a really big fan of all of the games they've come out with so far, and I actually have a few new ones to share with you guys today. So let's head on over to this side. We're gonna do an unboxing of everything that I got. So I have a lot of things to share with you guys. I have the actual Art Nouveau Artistry game itself. This one is the highest level of the tiers, and I think this one is like the jewelry box or the jewel box, something like that. So I did get the actual game box itself, so I will go through all of this, but then I also got the Botany War of the Posies. This is a standalone botany card game. I have not played this yet, but I'm very excited to see what this one's like, so we're going to go through that as well. Then it also came with the Botany Festive Foliage expansion pack, and this one is for the regular botany game. So I think this expands like more trees and more plants and new character cards and things like that. So I really love the expansions for botany, so this is another one. And then we have the Little Artistry. They started doing like kid-friendly versions of their games, starting with Lafleur. So there was Lafleur and La Petite Fleur. So this one is Little Artistry. It's kind of like the same game, but easier mechanics for children to understand. These are recommended for ages 5 and up, and they have about a 20 to 30 minute playtime. So we'll go through all of these things today. So starting off with the Art Nouveau game, this is a very large box because it is the kind of like luxury version of it, and it definitely is very luxury. So it's so big I can't really fit it all into my camera frame right now, but let's go ahead and open this up. I really love the attention to detail. This is the inside of the lid of the box. It's beautiful Art Nouveau women, so I really love the art style here. And then inside the box is the actual leather trunk version of the game. Now, if you got the regular game, I believe it comes in a similar size and packaging as the other games, the Botany game and Lafleur, but this one is like the deluxe. I believe it's like a pleather leather. It's white, kind of pebbled texture on here. It has gorgeous stitching on here, or actually I think it's more of like an emboss into the leather. And the really cool thing is there's actually a little key slot here, and there is a key that you can, I think, technically lock the game if you want. So just very luxe, very beautiful. And I kind of have to turn this sideways just to kind of get it all in frame. You will see like kind of my desk a little bit here, but I think it'll work. So it's a little hard to see. I don't have a lot of filming space on this area, but there is beautiful gold foil here on the inside, and it says Art Nouveau Artistry, and then inside we have a series of trays that holds the game components. So I'm going to move this off to the side and start showing you everything. So starting off with the first tray here, there are gorgeous acrylic game tile placement parts. So if I pull this apart, it has these really gorgeous golden feet. I think I accidentally put these in upside down though, I think. So I might have to go back and put these on the right way. I think I put them on upside down. But this is like the main tile board for the game. I won't really get into like how you play the game, but I will give you little details throughout the video. Very gorgeous. I love the kind of like clear plexiglass kind of look to it. I just think it makes it look very light and airy and ethereal. So that is the first main component of the board. Then in the tray, we also have the rule book here. I'll just kind of quickly flip through this so you can kind of get an idea. It has that same kind of linen paper texture as the all of the paper materials from the previous games. So here's all the rules and how you play everything. So everything just has that really nice high quality feeling to it, and that is something that I have come to love from all of Dux Somnium's games. They just really have like quality in mind. They don't feel cheap or chintzy or anything like that. So I always really appreciate all the hard work that goes into the little detail things like these. Then in addition to the regular rulebook, we have the quick start guide. I think this is really nice to have whenever like you really have the game under your belt, but you just need reminders of like the basics. This is a really good little resource to have. So it's just a two-sided document, and once again has that same really nice luxurious linen paper texture. And then we do have two more little smaller ones. This one's like a little advertisement for Botany. That was their first game. That one is a really fun one. And then on the back side we have Fleur. This one so far is my favorite of all the games that I've played from them so far. This one's a really fun like 17th century garden soiree, I will say. Then there's also this little note right here. This tells you about like the little feet pegs that go onto the boards and how you install them. And then also in the rulebook, it references the cardboard tokens. This is the first player token and then the player tokens. So these are actually upgraded in my version. So these are the equivalents. So in the rulebook, you'll see these, but these are the ones for my version of the game. And of course, like I mentioned, we do have the beautiful little key here. It has a nice little ambery colored tassel. Just looks very fancy and very fun. And I do believe the lock is functional. So that is a really beautiful touch. And so everything nestles quite nicely into this very top tray, and I like that it has these little ribbon on the side to help you pull it out of the tray. So that is the first section of the game. And then moving on, we have another little smaller tray in here that also has the same kind of little ribbon situation. This is what is the renown tracker is what they call it. This is similar to your, I think in Botany they called it like notoriety or something like that. I can't remember. I think it was something like that. I don't think that was quite right. And I'm forgetting what they called it in Fleur. It's been a minute. What is it called? Either way, you guys know what I'm talking about, but it has that same plexiglass finish to it, and it also has the beautiful golden feet on here. So this is where you actually keep track of your points throughout the game. So it's just a really nice, beautiful little counter pad there. And then moving on to the inside of the box here, again, we have that really gorgeous, like warm cocoa brown velvet lining in here. Then we have a gorgeous teal and brown velvet bag. This one actually contains all of the tiles for this game. So I'll just pull out a few of the tiles here to give you an idea. So for the tiles, there are 5 different colors here. We have like a beautiful light blue. We have like an olivey yellow gold. Then we have a gorgeous rusty brown red. We have a plummy color here. And then we have a green color here. So these have a really beautiful iridescent, kind of like a mother of pearl shell kind of look to them. I hope that's coming across on camera. It is very, very gorgeous, and these all have an individual stamp on them representing the kind of like art field that they are representing. So I love that we have this gorgeous drawstring bag to hold all the tiles in here. Since we do not have any currency in this game, this is a really fun, beautiful way to keep all the tiles together. Then over here we have all of the upgraded pawns. So this one is the first player token, and then these are the 4-player tokens. So I'm going to pull those out so you can see them closer. So if you do not have the upgraded version of this game, you will have cardboard tokens for these. So starting off, we have the first player token. It is the largest and it is gold. It is just a gorgeous bust of a woman. Very Art Deco, very, very pretty. So that is the first player token. Then we have all of the remaining player tokens. So this one's kind of like a goldy bronze color. Once again, these are all like a bust of, I keep saying Art Deco, it's Art Nouveau. So there is that one. This one is a little bit more of like a bronzy color. There is the second one. This one is another kind of bronzy one. This one's another woman. It's kind of like a little bit of a taller one. She is very, very pretty. And finally, the last one, this is more of like a silvery kind of pewter color one. Once again, all beautiful Art Nouveau women. So now moving on to the card decks, we have very beautiful artwork on here of the kind of like twisting vines and florals. I love it so much. And the thing I really love about this deck is that it does have the gilded edges. These are, I think, another upgraded component for the game. I do not know if the lower grades have the gilding on them or not, but they just look so pretty. So I do actually have a mini expansion that came in mine here, so I do have that separated there, but I'll go through the cards of the base game. So first up, we have, these are what are called the pattern cards. So there are a whole bunch of different ones. They have different tiles on the bottom for purchasing, different artwork on them. These are just so, so gorgeous, and they're all in different suits, I guess I will say, based on like whether it's ceramic or metalwork or whatever categories there are. I haven't memorized them all yet, but these are all of the pattern cards. So I'm just going to kind of go through those. All right, and so just a whole bunch of really beautiful artwork on these. Then in addition to the cards, these are also the large kind of tarot size cards. These are all of the different art categories. So we have painters, we have ceramicists, we have metalsmith, glassmith, and I think textile artist. So all of those fit into different categories, and these are the artisans that you use throughout the game. There's different levels of artisans as well as different classes or suits. So we have the apprentice is the lowest level. Then we have the journeywomen, which are the middle tier. And then finally there is the master. So there's actually only one master per each suit. So once again, so many beautiful cards here. I'm just going to kind of quickly flip through these just so you can get an idea of what they look like. So these are what you collect throughout the game that helps you have the ability to pick up different tiles in certain ways. So yeah, those are all of the artisan cards. And then really quickly, I will show you all of the, this is called the Marvelous Mucha Mini Expansion. So it's got the instruction card here. Looks like we do have some more artisans here. There are different masters, still in the same 5 categories, and then we have more pattern cards as well. So these are all of the cards from this expansion. So once again, I'm just going to kind of quickly leaf through these. You can see all of the artwork. Some of them are paintings, some of them are actually photographs. So I really like the diversity of the card art style in here. So that is the expansion. I have not played with the expansion yet, so I am going to keep that separate from the rest of the cards just so I can put these in when I'm ready to. Then finally, for the last deck of cards, we have what's called the inspiration cards. These are kind of little cards that are determined if you pick up a tile of the last color on the board, you get kind of like a bonus reward, and these will help kind of aid you in your collecting. And there's all different ones here, different things that you can do and abilities that you can have if you are in possession of these cards. So once again, a lot of really beautiful artwork on these as well. So that is the third component of the game as far as the cards go. And I think I put down like a $1 deposit whenever I was signing up for the Kickstarter. So I think they gave me 2 of these. I think one came with the set and one was from my deposit. So I have duplicates of these. So I think I'll just keep 1 pack in here and I won't mix it into the deck yet. But to go through all of these really quickly, this is again a mini expansion, and these are all part of the inspiration cards here. So this just adds more abilities to the game to play. So there's probably about, I don't know, 10 or 15 cards here that adds to the game. Once again, I will keep these separate until I have a few more gameplays under my belt. All right, so that is everything for the main Artistry game. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back in its place. At the time of filming this, I have played 1 2-player game so far. I am going to be playing some more this weekend, so I definitely can't wait to do that. My first really quick thoughts on this game. I really like it. I think that it's nice that this one doesn't need as much table space necessarily because you don't have a giant board like Botany and Le Fleur, so I liked the change of pace of that. I do think the game mechanics of this one's slightly more simplistic than what's going on in Botany and Le Fleur, but I think this is still a really fun tile collecting game, and I am looking forward to playing this more. So I don't really have like my full fleshed out thoughts yet, but so far I am enjoying it. So moving on, we have the Little Artistry game. I'm going to go through this one rather quickly, but this is the kid-friendly version of Artistry, just kind of more simplistic game mechanics and things like that. So when we open it up in here, we have the advertisement for La Petite Fleur. That is the kid-friendly version of La Fleur. And then this is what the regular Artistry game box looks like. So if you did not get the upgraded version, this is what your game will look like. And then once again, we have the rule book in here, same linen texture. I'm going to quickly flip through this just so you can get an idea of how the rule book is laid out and what everything looks like. So still really gorgeous and beautiful colors in here as well. So that is the rule book. Then we have, once again, the actual game board itself. So we have the tile tracker here. This is where the tiles lay. I love the scalloped edges of it. This is made of a cardboard, but it does have that same linen texture, so it feels very nice. And then this is, once again, the renown tracker. So that one is where you keep track of your points throughout the game. Then we have another bag here. This one is more of like a canvasy texture. And this is the drawstring bag that you can use to keep all of the game tiles in. So for the game tiles, they are made of wood for this one. So we don't have like that shell resiny kind of look with these. They are just a painted wood, but they still look quite nice. We have 5 different colors as well. So we have like this goldeny yellow, we have the purple, we have the green, we have the rusty red brown, and then we have the kind of like tealy blue color. So those are all of the tiles, and then they each have the suit painted onto them. And then for the game tracker pieces, these are also made of wood. These are just little round circles with the colors and the suits on them. These are for your player tracker on the renown. And finally, it looks like the cards that we have here are all of the pattern and artisan cards. Let me open these really quickly. So once again, it looks like these are what are the equivalent to the pattern cards throughout the regular games. So I'm going to kind of just go through those quickly. There's so many pretty illustrations on here. I just really love the whimsy of Art Nouveau. It's just such a really beautiful art style, and I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, a lot of different things in here. So I'm going to kind of skip through all of those. Okay, so it appears that there are not any like artisan equivalent cards in here, so I guess the patterns are the only cards that you use, which I definitely think that probably helps with the simplicity of the game for younger players. And this is what the back of the cards look like. It's so cute. It says, "This book belongs to Little Artistry." All right, and moving on very quickly to the last 2 things I want to cover in this video. These are Botany. Once again, this is an expansion for Botany the board game, and this one is Botany War of the Posies, which is a standalone card game. So really quickly, I'm going to go through the expansion first. This one is the Festive Foliage expansion. I believe this adds a lot more like trees and things like that to the game. So once again, here we have the little expansion thing. This tells us how many cards that we get. Looks like we have 5 new characters, 8 garden features, 60 festive expeditions, 37 festive event cards, and 50 specimen cards. So once again, I will open these up really quickly. All right, so starting off, we have the expedition item cards. I think that's what these were called. So we have like sleigh, we have snowshoes, we have a coffee pot, white elephant, greeting cards, we have bells and muffs, ice skates, boughs of holly, we have cookies, chocolate, Santa, elves, we have St. Bernards, that's funny, we have sled dogs, we have polar bears, we have reindeer, we have moose, kittens, oh, my niece is gonna love that, and we have more elves. So that is really fun. That'd be great to kind of like throw in during the holidays. If I find myself playing Botany, I think that would be a really fun kind of festive way to add that to the game. I love that. All right, then we have more of the festive event cards. There's a whole bunch of Christmassy themed ones. I'm not gonna go through every single one of these because they are all different, but we have different things like Holiday Ball, Enterprise, Figgy Pudding, Do Not Feed the Deer, Moonlight, Carriage Race, Sugar and Spice, Highest Bidder, Snowman, and Mont Blanc. So those just add more story to the game. And then this is what the back of those cards look like. All right, and then finally, I think this is going to add the character cards, the garden features, and the specimens. So looks like we have Noelle Frost as a new character. We have Charity and Nicholas Hall. We have Miss Mary Ann Northcott. We have Akari Yuki. we have Theodore Scrooge. So those are the 5 new characters for the Botany game, and this is what the back of the cards look like. Then it looks like we have some more garden features. These are called Christmas trees. So there's several of those that is very festive and perfect for the game. And then we have more of the specimen cards. So I'm just gonna, like I said, quickly go through these. There are a lot of them, and these are all individuals. So Cocoa Tree, we've got Lily of the Palace, Poinsettias, those make a lot of sense. We've got Balsam, Black Spruce, Allspice, we have American Holly, Chestnut, Mountain Juniper, Mistletoe, of course. We have some roses, we have Azalea and Holly. We have Swan's Neck Daffodil. That's a new one. I haven't heard that one. Christmas Rose, Snowdrop. We have Norfolk Island Pine. All kinds of things here. So ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg. So that just adds to the game. I do have to say, if you were to play with all the expansions, those would be some pretty thick stacks of decks at this point with all the expansions. I think this is the 3rd or 4th. I'm not positive, but there are little mini expansions too, but as far as like the full expansions, I think there are 2 others. All right, and then finally we have Botany War of the Posies, the standalone game in the world of botany. I'm really excited for this one. I don't know anything about it yet, but my boyfriend's not the biggest fan of botany. He definitely prefers Lafleur over that one, but I think this is a really interesting way to maybe see if I can get him to be interested in this game. So I'm not sure how it plays at all, so I'm just gonna kind of go in on this blind. So once again, we have the rule book here, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out later. I actually really appreciate how nice and small and compact this one is, because if you're familiar with the full botany game, you definitely need a big space to play it. That is probably like my one complaint of botany. It's just that you kind of really have to have a dedicated area to play it. All right, so I think that these are similar to like the specimen cards. Looks like we have locations and flowers on here. So yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar with how you play these games just yet. These look like they might be like garden features and things like that. So I'm really excited to see how this all plays out, because I'm hoping maybe it'll be a little bit more of a interesting version of botany for my boyfriend to play, because I love playing botany. I love playing Lafleur, but sometimes he doesn't like how intense it sometimes gets. So then for the rest of the ones, looks like we have more specimen cards here. All kinds of really beautiful plants and flowers. And let's see, are they all specimen? I think so. Yeah, looks like they are. So all kinds of new cards. Like I said, this is a game I can't wait to dive into. Possibly this weekend. I will see if I can get my boyfriend on board with this. Alright guys, so that is the unboxing of all of the newest games from Dux Somnium. Like I said, they do have a new game coming out on Kickstarter very soon. I think it comes out September 2nd, so I am definitely going to be kickstarting that one as well. I have just had such a great experience with all of their games. I love the attention to detail, the quality of the game, and the quality of the game components as well. It definitely feels like they put a lot of time, thought, and effort into designing these games, and I think that definitely comes through with their final product of the game. So that is going to be it for this unboxing. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.